Hey, Jules Blessed Vegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. So, wow, let's just say people watch. So, when I'm out and about and shopping and doing things, inevitably I people watch. And I kind of wonder, like, what's that person thinking, or how cool that person looks for what they're wearing, like how brave that outfit is. Or I'll just see a terrifically heavy person and just pray for them because I'll just be like, not only have I been there, but what is it that's causing them to just eat and eat and eat? My husband and I, so my husband watches and I watch, yes, my husband and I will watch that show, 600-Pound Life. And it's not easy. It's not easy to watch. But we both understand the plight, okay? I know my body's capacity to absolutely accommodate my ability to eat endless amounts of nothingness. Like, honestly, it's just like, I remember gaining weight initially. You know, and again, I was a regular sized kid, even though I thought I was always fat. I started dieting literally in third grade in a competition with my siblings and was never good enough. I was one of the skinniest little kids. It was ridiculous. And then by like third grade, my body was just simply developing. But I panicked. I panicked in every way. I even like started to get peach fuzz as a child and promptly attempted to shave it. I was so ashamed that my body was maturing so quickly. When my breasts first grew in, I was already a C cup by 12 years old, and I panicked. None of it was comfortable for me. And I know some of it goes back to being sexually abused. I didn't feel like my body was my body, and that anybody could touch or abuse it at whim. So that part was scary for me too. But when men and stuff started paying attention to me at 13 and 14, and by men, I mean literally the 32-year-olds that I was babysitting for, the police officers who would pull over and say, hey, want to take a ride. I'm not kidding you. It was dangerous. And so I started burying it in food. It wasn't conscious. I wasn't like literally deciding to do that because at the same time, I was doing my best to try bulimia, to look up the sites on how to become anorexic. I remember poor little Tracy Gold getting anorexia so bad after being teased on the set. What was her set? Can you believe it? I can't even think of it. All those shows come to mind. Different Strokes, no. All in the Family, no. Wow, can you think of it? I bet you can. You're probably like yelling it into the screen. Anyway, she became anorexic for real. And praise God survived and went on to become a mom with kids. But she attributed a lot of that to being talked about on the set about being too heavy when she was just actually a darling, healthy kid. Because I was competitive on swim team and drill team and all those things, and we were number one in the nation and stuff. You had to be slim and cute and lovely, and I just had a really healthy body, and it wasn't acceptable. And so I tried to destroy it. And when I couldn't successfully destroy it through anorexia and bulimia, I decided I'd just be the fattest woman in the world. I mean, you've got to have a title, right? So it wasn't until I was like, I'd say really, I don't know, about 18. I mean, I held my own through high school, but about 18, I found a binge partner. I had different binge partners growing up, but I found a binge partner who showed up everywhere I was with food and all the foods that triggered me. That's why I was saying, what's your gateway food? Like, what foods are going to just throw you from your plan? This person was really a devil in my life, and honestly, not only showed up everywhere I was with the foods that provoked the heck out of me, but then later handed me a bill for what I owed her. Not kidding. Anyway, that led to a lot of shame eating and binging and putting on a lot of weight. And finally, I went away to college. I was super heavy in college, but I found Overeaters Anonymous. I started finding balance. I started doing the 12 steps. I had a food sponsor, and I started doing really well for the moment. But there were just so many times in my life. The greatest gift has been my husband, to be real, because my husband met me when I was young, so I was like 20, and he only thought of me as my darling drill team self. And when we met, ironically, it was directly following a Weight Watchers meeting, and he ended up joining Weight Watchers with me, and we both lost quite a bit of weight, and we're cute and fun and lovely. And then when I met him several years later, I was also in a really good place because, unbeknownst to him, I had just lost 100 pounds. And he had gained a lot of weight and lost weight too in his relationships, because food has been our drug of choice. Like, we both drank, for sure. He was a smoker at one point, and praise God that wasn't the truth when we finally got together and ultimately became married and everything. But the food was just our buddy, and we ate through all our survival modes during our relationship, and we've both lost and gained a lot of weight. Right now, my husband is like 170 pounds down from his highest weight, and I'm 130 pounds down, about 130 pounds down from my highest weight. So we're definitely in a much better place, Lord knows, than we were before. But we are aware that, like, seriously, I'll be completely clean for like 4 days, largely because I'm on task and busy in my schedule and da-da-da. And then when there's a downtime, he's in temptation, I falter to it, whatever. Inevitably, like day 5, I tend to eat something that isn't on my plan. And so when I see those people, when I'm people watching, and I can only have total compassion for them, and I kind of joke that is me in a week, because I know my capacity to gain weight. I know my ability to lose weight, but I know my capacity to gain weight. And this is the first time in my life that I'm on a vegan diet. This is the first time in my life that I'm on a plant-based diet, and largely raw vegan, which I prefer. So I feel like the absolute potential to be completely well, to finally own my body, like I'm safe in my life, even though pigs come onto me every dang day, I'm not even kidding you. Men, like even in Instagram, not a day goes by, and I'm not exaggerating, the men don't say, hey, beautiful, hey, I like your smile, hey, want to be friends? Check this out. Oh my Lord, I'm almost ashamed to say it. But why am I ashamed? Like, this is the game. Why am I ashamed? I saw this person who wanted to friend me, and I couldn't tell. It was on Instagram. And sometimes when they friend you on Instagram, it's just to make a comment on a post you've had. So you don't always have to friend them, but sometimes there's an actual message. So I'm pretty careful not to choose men. But there was this one name on there, and I couldn't tell if it was a man or a woman. So I went to their page, and I saw that everything on there was fake and like Middle Eastern or something. And I was like, whatever, so no. Who knows why? I accidentally, so the first button's decline, the second one's accept. I accidentally touched accept. I don't know why. And he had his penis, just his penis in his hand. This disgusting naked penis. And that was it. I was so offended and so sorry for the visual. Of course, I reported it as inappropriate and porn and everything else, but damage done, right? And then I get women in their super needy nightmares who are haunting me for whatever reason and wanting to have me magically fix them, which is another pattern in my life, right? Since I was a young girl, and people who never should have invested their truth in me as a child have wanted me to fix them. And anyway, so it's just something I struggle with all the time. So I know my capacity to gain weight, which is so much of a mental game for me, and a desire to take care of myself when I'm not having boundaries in my life. And I was seeing this person, I was watching the Golden Globe Awards, and there was this actress, I'm not even going to say who, and I know that she lost a family member, a sibling, recently. by recently, like 8 months ago or something. And it really devastated her. And she mentioned it on the last awards. And this time, though bold and confident with her breast bulging out and you know, a dress that anyone should wear, but if she was being honest, it's at least a size 24. And she's only like 5'2". And I'd say she's put on 50 or 60 pounds from one who knows and has that brand new fleshy weight, because it takes a while for the weight to calm down and kind of harden. So initially it's just this fluffy, fleshy weight. And I was so sorry. I was so sorry for her. And because I just get it. I mean, I know what it's like. So my gateway, because when I teach like DARE and things like that to our students, we teach how taking, you know, marijuana, which is not as bad as nicotine, opens the door for nicotine, or how a cigarette opens the door for vaping, how vaping opens the door for, you know, Coke up your nose or whatever, and how one sip of beer, you know, allows you to move on to the vodka and all those things and all those gateway drugs. And so for me, the gateway, for one, it would start with bread. Just bread. Oh God, what's a piece of bread? I mean, it's considered healthy, especially if it's wheat bread, right? That is the beginning, which could lend itself to a tortilla, right? Which can lend itself to all the fried stuff that goes in a tortilla. Just a fried French fry, of course. I mean, it's only a French fry, right? I mean, yeah, oil's not very good for you, but it's not terrible, and it is vegan, which lends itself to all the other nonsense. I can't do breads. I can't do oils. Salt. Hello? Salt. I've never even been a salt person, but if salt is on something, my body responds accordingly. And don't even get me started on sweet. So what will get me there? I'm pretty safe with banana and ice cream, but not always. I have to be really careful with it because it could be sweet enough to say, can I have vegan ice cream? Oh my gosh, people. I don't know. I will tell you, my safest, most successful day is having my 16 cups of water and herbal tea, having all fruit and vegetables and healthy fats in a dressing, not even having my dehydrated wraps, not even having dehydrated crackers, like none of the games. If I could just do that, that is a day that I am never bloated, that I am never uncomfortable, that I can go to bed too. So today, sorry, something's getting me. Hi, Julie, what a surprise. You never complain about your shedding or how it makes you sneeze or have allergies. I know, right? All right. So today, what happened was I just had 4 days of total wellness, complete clean loveliness, recording in my journal, saying my rosary, doing my rebounding, everything. Woke up this morning. I did 2 mistakes. I'm starting the reset today, which is the Tanny Raw reset that I've been talking about. Excuse me. And I'm thrilled to be doing it. Usually, though, when I start the reset, I weigh myself. And I haven't weighed myself in a really long time. And so that freaked me out. Weighing myself freaked me out. And it was like, well, how did you do? Was it good or bad? It was actually quite good. But even good can scare me into, oh no. Are people going to start recognizing me? Am I going to lose weight and be unsafe, like all the BS? Even though I know that when I was my fattest, men were still attracted to me. Such a pretty face, such a nice smile, so kind. Such an innocent idiot who doesn't recognize I'm abusing her. All those things. All right, so I shouldn't have weighed myself. Like, that is a trigger for me. And I will not be doing that. I will not. So that was my first mistake. My second mistake was looking too far into the future. Like, I immediately started thinking about that initial desire to be wearing that Raquel Welch bikini and the potential to do that, and how I really do have that shaped body, and how, and like all these things, which made it so huge and big that I panicked in my inability to obtain that. So those were like a couple of things. And before I knew it, when I was offered something, I said yes, which wasn't on my plan. And it was such a bummer because I was just like, oh my gosh, like how quickly I can fall. All right, so yes, turn it back around. Yes, I have a plan for tomorrow. Yes, I have the foods I need. Yes, I was successful tonight despite that. But I was just kind of thinking, like, what are those gateway foods, drugs of choice that throw you off your plan? Mine are processed foods, of course, cooked foods, yes, oil and salt, and of course, sugar, always sugar. All right, I'm going to take a breath. I'm still going to rejoice, and I'm back on my plan, and I will keep you posted. Anyway, share if you can relate, like if you like, join us if you haven't, subscribe. Take a moment to say like, because most people don't. But until we talk again, best of all, know that I prayed for you and trust that you're blessed.